Hi, everyone. Hope you're well. Welcome to this week's live webinar. By the way, I apologize for being, I know I'm a minute late, but I couldn't, for some reason, the internet here has been really not too great the last couple of days, to put it mildly. So let me first just make sure the chat box is up and open to everyone. Okay. There is my first message to you. Sean, good to see you, buddy. Good call today, man. Hey, Sean, I got your text, and then I saw a couple emails go back and forth. So it looks like hopefully that was taken care of, your server level access. If it's not, just let me. Everybody's gone, of course, by now, but let me know. We'll straighten it out. Hey, Betty. Hey, Melanie. Hope you guys are doing well. Let's see. I think Sheikah's going to be on tonight too. Sean, Betty, Melanie. Okay, let me check the attendee list. And let's see who we got. Hey Archie, I sent you I think I sent you a message earlier. Go ahead and use the link to set up a strategy call, because it's been, I think, a couple of weeks. We need to catch up. If you could do that, be great. Chris Roden, good to see you, buddy. Hope everything's going well for you. Same thing with you, Chris. If you I made a note, I have your, without going into a lot of details here, to kind of hold off a little bit with you until you can get some things straightened out on their home front. But just let me know. Use the link, set up a call. Emily, good to see you. Welcome aboard too, by the way. Louis, good to see you too. Hey, Louis, the email between you and me and John, remember the way we agreed with Canada's, you're actually the team leader up there. Okay, it's actually you, not me, until we get up to a certain status. So you're actually good to go. Whatever we have in place, we can start rock and roll. In fact, I've got appointments already coming up with some of our agents up there. So in any case, Melanie, good to see you. Sean, Shalina, good to see you, Shalina. Hope things are going good down in Jacksonville. Todor, good to see you. Willie, congratulations, man. Hey guys, everybody give Willie a hand, because his first transaction came through. How about that? I think he's the youngest dude on the team, youngest guy on the team, and quiet performer. Literally disciplined, taking action, following instructions. Boom, you get a transaction. So congratulations, Willie. Let's see here. Melody, yeah, Melody, that's actually Willie, not Louie. I'm sorry, I'm probably talking way too fast. Okay, good to see everybody. Let's go ahead and get rocking and rolling here. So if you are new or relatively new, please remember, hi Sheikah, good to see you. Hey Sheikah, I did get your message earlier. I just was full day of student calls and a webinar, but tomorrow, if we can catch up, Sheikah, that would be great. Just let me know. I mean, it's, again, all the time slots are scheduled tomorrow, but I don't mind squeezing you in there. In fact, I tell you what, let me know if you're free, Sheikah, between noon and 1 tomorrow, Texas time, or between 2 and 3 Texas time. How about that? Or here's option 3, behind door number 3, 4 p.m. Texas time. I've got some calls wrapping up at 4 Texas time. So just shoot me a text or something. That's not on the calendar, but I know we've been trying to connect, and I'll just go ahead and do it that way. So in any case, welcome aboard, everybody. We're going to go ahead and get started here. If you are new, you'll know to use please remember to use the chat box to post your questions. Tonight we're going to go over the actual physical analysis of property. So the last couple of webinars, we've gone over financial analysis using several calculators and things like that. Some pretty cool ones too. Now, what's really interesting is the way we do our business. It's a little bit different than the way a lot of what we call investor gurus teach. Remember, they're teaching it from the investor perspective, irregardless of us agents. Okay. In fact, they do it backwards. I'm just telling you, I've been doing this for 35 years, and I used to follow all that late night guru stuff and wonder why I was working so darn hard for a few properties. Okay. One of the differences is this, and this one you might want to write down. we don't start with physical analysis, we start with financial analysis to the degree that we can. So we gather as much data as we can on a property. We go through desktop analysis, looking at several properties, perhaps their listings, perhaps we found them out of pocket by doing our letter campaign, for example. Okay, we gather as much data as we can from the other agent or owner, whichever the case is, and use our calculators to see if it even makes sense financially to pursue. And then and only then do we actually determine we're going to go physically visit the property. Unfortunately, what a lot of people do is they'll get all the leads they can get and they'll go look at all those properties, which is the most expensive use of your time. Literally getting in a car, burning gas, fighting traffic. I mean, driving to and from, going all around town. It's exhausting, and you'll find out that half those properties you had no business looking at. So the reality is it's actually better to do desktop analysis first to the degree that you can. You have the data to do that, right? And only the top 5 or 6 or 7 properties do we actually go visit. And then we're spending our precious time on fewer properties. Does that make sense, guys? In other words, our time spent in the field is very expensive. It takes time in the car, time at the properties, and it's better to physically analyze 6 properties than say 60 properties. I just wonder if you can give me an amen or a yes or even a hand raise. Thank you, Melanie. Thanks, Sean. Shika, thanks for doing that. I appreciate that. Shalina, I got an amen. All right. Elsa, good to see you from way up in British Columbia and Bellingham. So good to see you. Okay, so I just want to preface this webinar with that assumption. And on another webinar, perhaps we'll do this next week, I'll take you through the screening interview process we use with investors. Okay. Hang on, I'm gonna move let's move this over here. Trying to get the chat box off to the side. So bear with me, please, just one second, guys. Okay. There's a sequence of steps you want to follow when you work with investors. What I'm going over tonight is assume you've already got the investor secured. Okay, you've already marketed, they've responded to you, you've done screening and interviewing, and you're now looking at properties. This is where this takes off tonight. Next week, I know I should probably do it the other way around, but tonight we're slated to do this. Next week, we'll go into assuming they've responded to your marketing, how do you get them in this position here, which is looking at properties. Okay, so we'll do that next week. For tonight, though, what I want to do is there's actually 2 forms we use. One is a property information form, where we just gather information on the property as far as the physical characteristics, like the exterior, interior. I'm going to show you this all in a minute. Okay, and once we do that, then we do basically an analysis sheet, which is the financial part. How much is all this going to cost? Okay, so it's actually a 2-step process. And I'm going to plant a seed in your mind that I hope you'll let sprout and bear fruit, which is this. We actually don't do those forms. Our clients do. We give them the forms. We show them how to do the forms. And as we go through the properties, it's part of getting them engaged in the process. Okay. Now, certainly there are prospects and clients who are out of town. They're out of country, and you just have to do that work for them. Okay. But this is assuming you got some local investors that are there, and you'll take them through the process I'll show you next week, and they're ready, willing, and able to participate actively in the investing process. I mean, let's face it, would you invest in something if you didn't thoroughly check it out? I mean, most people wouldn't. Successful investors wouldn't do that, and I wouldn't either. So, the only exception would be is now that I operate on more of a national scale, is we do a lot more partnerships. We buy bigger properties. I'm not physically looking at properties because somebody that works for us is doing that. Okay, so that's the difference. We would never blindly buy a property. We would gather data from ourselves personally or from someone that works for us. Okay, enough said on that. What I'm going to do is show you the first form. So let's go ahead and do that. By the way, if you hear thunder and lightning, that's because it's thunder and lightning outside. Sorry, you can't hear lightning, you can hear thunder. How about that? Okay, so this form right here, let me go to the website. I'll share this with you. You can see where I'm getting these forms. So bear with me just one second. Okay, so in the silver membership area of the website, Real Estate with Gary Wilson, you log into silver, you go into the left-hand side on the blue panel, right? And you go to forms and calculators. And the first thing you should do, let me go back there, sorry, just 1 second, is download this one here, property inspection report, and download this one here, property rehab analysis report. In fact, you should just download all of these, right? Download the cash flow analysis, download the calculators, everything, just download them and put them on your hard drive. And you can share, and you should share these with your clients, okay? So we're gonna start with the property inspection report. So let me just go there. I think it just opened it up. Aha, there it is. Okay, so imagine you're driving down the street with your client. Either they're in the same car with you or they're following behind you. Years ago, I switched to having my clients follow behind me, okay? It's not that I'm super hyper paranoid or anything like that. It's just I'm busy. And while I'm on the road between properties, I might be making a few phone calls, okay? Not only that, I'm saving time, because if I have to go pick them up or meet them somewhere, cart them around and drive them back there at the end of the day, that's a lot more time. So we make arrangements to meet at the first property, and they follow me to the other 4 or 5 properties, okay? Now let's say you're going up to the first property. You want to approach this as if you're the consumer buying the property, right? You approach it from the best, you got your street with the properties on the other side. You know, obviously you want to make note of the street itself, the sidewalk, you pull up and park. Then you make note of the driveway, the mailbox, and basically the front yard. So this is where we're going to start, okay? On the property inspection report, you'll notice the exterior is done first. Before we ever go into the interior, we'll always do exterior first, right? I can't imagine there's ever an exception except for one case, and that's this. If it's like really muddy outside, pouring down rain, snowing, whatever, then we would probably do the inside first and then later on muddy our shoes, okay? But assuming that's not the case, it's preferable to do the outside first. And before we even look at the property, we look at the yard. We literally go around and look at all the trees. Right here it says landscaping. Okay, fences, trees, mulch, shrubbery, flowers, rock beds, anything that has to do with the yard and landscaping, okay? And that includes, by the way, like I said, sheds, fences, even pools, swing sets, anything that's not really attached to the house. All of that matters. Now, having said that, if I'm buying a property to rent it out, okay, I generally won't buy a property with a pool. Just a big nuisance, big headache, and big expense, okay? Because you have to maintain the pool, and yet your tenants will be swimming in it. The only time I have a pool is for properties in the what we call the SMILE, right? The southern states, okay? Where they're getting more likely to be year-round use, and I've got a lot of units, and I've got property management on site, and that's when I'll have a pool. In most cases, no pool, won't do it, okay? When it comes to a fence, yeah, Louie's right, insurance expense is high with a pool. It's actually, it's got a lot higher too. When it comes to fences, if it's in good shape, I'll keep it. But if it's not, I'm not going to replace it, I'll tear it down. It's not worth the money to put in a fence. Just on rental properties, it's just not. You can't get any more rent for it. And just remember this, guys, this is where you want to think like an investor. Any money you spend on property should be directly related to you earning an income from the property, right? Every dollar spent should be an investment that should generate at least $1 return on an annual basis every year thereafter, okay? So again, fence in good shape, I'll leave it. Not good shape, it's going away and it's not going to be replaced. Same thing with a shed. If the shed's in good shape, I'll keep it. If it's not, I'm tearing it down, it's going away. Same thing with the swing set. In fact, I don't like swing sets because they can be a liability, you know, an insurance liability. However, because I'm a big kid myself, I've been known to leave good jungle gym and things like that in the yards. When I know I've got several 3-bedroom apartments, when I know I'm going to have families with kids, I'll keep the fence. It actually has helped me rent places that I've made out of otherwise rented. Kids look out back, they see this jungle gym thing, and they're like, "Mom, we got to live here," you know. Sandboxes are pretty easy to keep. Okay, that's for the yard. Now then we turn and face the house. If you're in a really flat area, you know, like the plain states or on the coast, In a lot of cases on the coast, you're not going to have a basement. But what we're looking for is a vantage point to see the roof, okay? I don't know about you, but I don't really like climbing up ladders, okay? So I prefer to look at, we always bring binoculars, by the way. In fact, you should encourage your clients to bring binoculars, all right? And look at the roof from a distance, get a vantage point on the roof, okay? It's easier when you have hills and things like that. But roofs can be expensive, so we want to start with the most expensive things first, which are roofing and siding. So we look at the roofing, we look at the siding, and we just make notes on this. We're not determining what anything costs at this point. We're just simply making note of the condition: good, fair, poor, excellent condition, or needs to be replaced. Those are the 5 categories. So good, fair, poor, excellent condition, or needs to be replaced. If it has aluminum siding, we'll replace it with vinyl, and we'll scrap the aluminum. I've literally had houses we've taken the aluminum siding off and gotten close to $1,000 on the scrap. And I'm getting the money. I'm just paying the workers are taking it down. They keep it like in the garage, and another guy comes along and picks it up with a pickup truck, straps it all down or a flatbed, takes it to the scrap place, and we'll get $1,000, and I pay him maybe 50, and that's it. Okay, now back to this. We're looking at chimneys, and any brickwork, whether it's the house itself or a chimney, should be straight and flat. If you see a lot of bowing, or one section of brick is pushed out because water infiltrated, or you see a lot of step cracks where, you know, this side's higher than this side, that kind of thing, I suggest you take pictures of those kind of things, right? Here's one real big tip when it comes to cracks in brick or block siding, which is this. If it's wider up top and it generally starts around a window, it's usually water got in the framework and got down into the brickwork. And as the crack narrows as it goes down, that's usually just a water cause that. However, if you ever have a crack, guys, and it's like in the foundation, it's bigger wider at the bottom and gets narrower as it goes up, that's usually a bigger problem, like a foundation problem, or worse yet, a footer problem. When you ever brick or block on a foundation split like that and it's wider as it goes down, that means the footer has probably dropped, like the ground settled underneath, the footer literally dropped, okay? And you can't, that's a walk away at it right there. So in any case, we're looking for signs of trouble on the outside: foundation, brickwork, trim work around the windows themselves, the doors, the trim work around the doors, any decking attached to the house, glass block windows. Also look for the old antennas sticking up from the chimney. Take those down. They're horrible for chimneys, okay? We're also looking for branches hanging over the roof. All those things need to be taken note of. And I would suggest, if you see them, to take pictures, okay? Or your clients take pictures. Okay. Now that's pretty much the exterior. Let me check the questions here real quick. This subject usually generates a lot of discussion. Let's see, Louis is saying, if you accept pets, will you demand that tenants walk their dogs, and what fee do you charge the pet? What if dog poos in the backyard? How do you deal with that? Okay, Louis, so you're opening up a can of worms here. Here's my take on pets. When I first started investing myself, I used to have a no pet policy, right? No pets, only to find out I ended up having pets, okay? Typical example, a nice young lady moves in, she's got a great job, she's single independent, and she's doing great. 3 months later, she gets a new boyfriend who ends up being the devil. And whatever he does, something stupid, something wrong, whatever, he just ends up mooching off her, staying on the couch, and you probably see kind of what I'm talking about. And he gets in trouble and buys her a cute little kitty cat or a puppy dog. Nobody ever thought to look at the lease. They just, whoa, look at this cute little puppy, and everybody's happy again. So to happen enough times, Louis, I figured, you know what? I'm just going to stop fighting it, and I'm going to turn it into a profit center. And here's what I did. I started advertising pet friendly or pets welcome. Turns out I got a lot more calls. Now here's the kicker though. I was getting calls from good pet owners. right? Because I will put in there pet policy, like an asterisk, C note, pet policy applies. That's what I did, Louis. Pet policy applies. And what would happen is the bad pet owners would not call because they're like, okay, this guy's got a pet policy. I better steer clear from that. And the good pet owners would apply. They would never respond. And what I did was I would charge an extra deposit for the pets. Cats and small dogs for $25 per room for deposit. And deposits refundable, of course, if there's no damage. And I would also charge $25 per month for cats and small dogs. Now, for larger dogs, I would charge up to $50. Okay, because they could do more damage or bigger, more wear and tear and all that. And I never thought about asking them or requiring them to walk the dogs. I just assumed people that have pets would walk their dogs. But I would charge the deposit and the rent, the additional rent. Rent is not refundable. And it turns out over time, I made more money from the additional rents than I had damages from the few bad pets that I had. So it ended up being a profit center, ended up making more money as a result. And that's my philosophy on pets. I do have properties where I do not allow pets, and that's typically because a tenant may have an allergy. So that's one of the things I ask people, do you have allergies? What are your allergies, et cetera, et cetera. And then I can tell people, I could say no pets allowed. We have tenants with allergies, I'm sorry, and that would be the end of it. So that's why I handle pets. So in any case, Shika says, what if there's a crack in the stucco? I gotta tell you, Shika, I don't like stucco. I mean, I've had it before, and it does better in the milder climates. In the really, really hot climates, like sometimes in Texas and Florida, it can get, like Arizona, can get really hot, blistering hot. I mean, just ask Archie, she'll tell you. And sometimes that extreme heat would do damage to stucco too, but it never does well in the northern regions. I've seen stucco up here in Canada, and I'm just baffled. Why would people use stucco in Canada? I mean, the constant, all it takes a little bit of a moisture to infiltrate it, and that freezing, expanding, contracting is just pure heck on stucco. So in any case, I never liked it. One of my partners actually had a stucco business, and he had a lot of money too. And I learned a lot from it. I learned I would generally not like to have stucco. So if stucco's cracked, though, it could be cosmetic, but at a minimum, Shiki, you've got to take it down. And the problem is when you go to replace it, it never matches. So if you try to repair a patch in stucco, the new stucco will never match the old stucco. The only option is to paint it. Now you've got another maintenance nightmare. So I've seen people take stucco down on one complete side and stucco from end to end and corner to corner and leave the other stucco intact if it was okay. But still from a distance, you can see a difference. So I just never liked stucco, Okay, Louis asking, look for lateral cracks. They can be indicative of structural issue, confer with inside wall. Yeah. So what I learned, guys, is when you have like simple step cracks, like in cinder block where it goes like this, and it's just a hairline crack and it ends and disappears, those aren't a big deal. But if you have a crack, like Louis said, it goes across and up above is sticking out further than below or vice versa, that could be a more serious issue, okay? Same thing with side to side. Let's see here, pet deposit, non-refundable. So Shiki, pet deposits are refundable. So what I would do is if somebody had a pet when they moved out, if there's no damage, they'd get their deposit back. But if there was damage, I could take it out of the deposit. On the additional rent, though, that was non-refundable. Rent is pure profit, okay? So in any case, so let's assume we've taken care of the outside inspection. Now what we do, we go back around front. Okay, oh, sorry, on the outside, you want to always check out the gas meter and the meters, the electrical meter socket, the meter socket for electric power and the gas meter for gas. And just make sure they look in good shape. Just take pictures, make notes, okay? In any case, so we go back around to the front of the property, all right? And if necessary, take your shoes off. Look at the front door. Literally, just everything you do physically, you touch the front door, you push the front door open, just make notes of the door and the frame. And when you walk in, we always go to the utility area first. If there's a basement, we go into the basement, because most houses with basements, the furnace, the water tank are all in the basement, okay? And also the electric panel. And also in the basement, you can see like the plumbing and the wires, you know, the power lines coming from the electrical panel. So we look at all of that. We look at the inside of the foundation walls, okay? We also look at any glass block windows. We look at the joist on the floor above. Anything we can look at, we make note of and we take pictures of, okay? On the systems themselves, like the furnace and the water tank, we definitely pull the panels off, not on the water tank, but on the furnace, and you look for the manufacturer's panel. And on there, it tells you the year that the furnace was made. Okay, in most cases, you have furnace and air conditioning together in one unit, right? The water tank's usually easy to tell because it's got the panel right on the outside. Make note of the age. Generally speaking, if I've got a water tank that's 12 years old, I'm going to assume I'm going to have to replace the water tank, okay? Might not be that day, but might be a year later. I've not seen too many water tanks get past 15 years. I've seen it, just not a lot. On the furnaces, I start to get a little more excited closer to 20 years. When they're close to 20 years, you know, if it's 20 years or more, I'm going to assume I'm going to have to replace the furnace, okay? You know, it may be in fine working condition, but it's probably very inefficient. It doesn't have all the latest technology that's available on the furnace, okay? So I'm going to assume furnace is 20 years or older, I'm going to replace. Water tanks 12 years older, I'm going to replace those. I might not have to replace them, I'm just going to assume I'm going to replace them. It's part of my cost, okay? And okay, so we also look at the floor of the basement, again, look for cracks, things like that, signs of water damage, especially in the corners, all that stuff we're looking for in the basement, okay? Now, we're going to go upstairs to the main floor, all right? And if there's no basement, then it means it's on a slab or a crawl space. So we would find the utility area in the main floor. Assuming we've done that, same rules apply here. So next we're going to go into the money rooms. We're going to go into the kitchen first, because inside the house, the most expensive room will be your kitchen, okay? Cabinetry, appliances, the whole 9 yards. Same thing. We will go through, oh, let's see, Shika, what is the age of the AC that you look at? Oh, so the AC will be the same as the furnace, Shika. Usually when we replace a furnace, we're going to also replace the air conditioning at the same time. So the condenser is outside, right? Inside the furnace cavity, up above the furnace area is your plenum, right? And that's where the coils are, the condenser, okay? So if we're going to replace the furnace, we're going to replace the air conditioning at the same time. So same thing applies, 20 years. Thanks for asking that, by the way. Thank you. Okay, so back in the kitchen. I generally do not replace kitchens on rentals. If it's really if it really does not pleasant looking, but the framing is good in the cabinetry in the kitchen, I will replace the door and drawer fronts and the knobs, and also replace the countertop and the sink and the faucet. And that's a lot less expensive than replacing an entire kitchen. You know, if you have a 12-foot kitchen, 12 by 12 kitchen, you know, you're looking at potentially $10,000 or more dollars. This is like on a decent set of cabinets and everything on a rental property. Well, if I can do the door and drawer fronts and the countertop and the sink and the faucet for, you know, a third of that, I'm going to do it, and it's going to look like it's brand new. In fact, people will assume it's new. So in any case, mainly what you're doing at this point, though, is you're just making a note of the kitchen appearance, the condition of the cabinetry, the condition of the countertop. Check the electrical, make sure there's GCI in there. GFI. Melanie, I've got GCI on the brain. Gross commission income on the brain. GFI is what I meant to say. Look for GFI outlets on both sides of the sink. And also, any case, the appliances. Okay, here's how I deal with appliances. I definitely want my appliances to match. Okay, I don't like green and gold and all that kind of stuff. I definitely like stainless, but more importantly, I just like plain white furnaces. I mean, plain white appliances. They're easy to clean off. They last a long time. They look good. You know, the stainless starts to show its age sooner. There's all the handprints, and you just can't get them all off. You know. But in any case, on the appliances, if they don't match, I will match them up. I might keep the stove or keep the refrigerator, whatever's in better shape, and then match that, okay? Very rarely will I have to replace an entire set of appliances in a rental. But if I do, heck, I can outfit an entire kitchen with appliances, nice ones, easily for under $2,000. Fridge, stove, microwave, dishwasher, okay? In any case, if the appliances are not current modern style, I'll replace them, right? Because they're going to be old, inefficient, and it's just going to be a headache. Might as well go ahead and replace them when you buy the property. Okay, on the lighting, I will never put a ceiling fan in the kitchen. I still see them sometimes, but now the code does not allow ceiling fans in kitchens. They won't allow it anymore. Okay, but I do like to see lighting over the sink, lighting over the stove, and lighting over the countertops, and one central light in the middle of the kitchen. Also, I'll replace the door and drawer knobs on the cabinets, even if I do not replace the door and drawer fronts, I will often replace the door and drawer knobs. They're very inexpensive. You can get a whole box full for like 25 or 30 bucks and do 3 kitchens with it, okay? In any case, so on the flooring in the kitchen, here's my position on that. I've had hundreds of units over the years. I bought properties that had carpeting in the kitchen. That is never good. That always ends up being a disaster. So no carpeting kitchens, okay? I've seen hardwood floors. I've seen vinyl floors. I've seen the laminate floors. I've seen tile. When it's all said and done, the thickest, hardest tile you can get is always the best. I'm just telling you. You can go through everything I went through, guys, and learn it all through the School of Hard Knocks like I did, or you can just take my word for it. The thickest, hardest tile you can get is the best thing for a kitchen. Plain tile. And just lay it square. Don't try to get real fancy, because if you got to replace anything, the cutting is more difficult. Plain square tile, and get it as thick as you can possibly get it. If they can drop stuff on it, it won't bother it. Okay. Vinyl, I do not like vinyl. I just got tired of it. Okay. I do like hardwood floors in kitchens. However, I don't like them in my rentals because people won't take care of them. When I flip a home, though, I've done flips hardwood floors in the kitchen. But for rentals, that really thick, solid, indestructible tile is the best thing you can do. So, anyway, so that's now the kitchen. Let's see. Louis says blue light flashlight is very handy and inexpensive to hunt for mold and other fluids under sinks and bathrooms. And yeah, you can get it, guys. You can get like a little strip. You just like a wand. You hold it like that, battery operated. And same thing, Louis. It also works on carpets. You can look for stains on carpets. Okay. In fact, if you have rentals and you allow pets like I do, when you go to do your inspection, bring one of those lights. It's a fluorescent light, and it'll show you where there's spots, stains. See what I'm saying? Now, because if you don't catch it after they move out and you give them their deposit back and it stains surfaces, you can't get your money back. It's already done. So we use that wand and we look for stains that way. Thanks, Louis, for bringing it up. Okay, now let's move to the bathroom. Same thing, tile floor. Same exact tile as the kitchen. Just really good, solid, thick, hard, dense tile. What's interesting on bathrooms is you can make a bathroom look really nice and not have to spend 10,000 bucks. You can go to Home Depot and Lowe's and get those ready-made combined bathroom cabinets, sink cabinets with a sink basin, all installed, all ready to go, easily for, you can get them as cheap as 100 bucks, but mine are usually around 250, and they look awesome. Okay, they're freestanding and they're easy to replace if you ever need to replace them. The built-in cabinets in bathrooms, I don't do that anymore. We almost always replace toilets unless they're already pretty new. Here's what we do on bathtubs. Okay, here's the money maker. If you have an old bathtub and an old bathroom, the old cast iron, they're a bear to get out of there. Sometimes you got to literally saw them out. It's big, expensive, dirty, nasty job. Then you got to put a new tub and put it in there. Okay, so here's what we do when we have those old cast iron tubs, the ones that are built in, not the clawfoot. The clawfoot tubs, if we have them, we actually take them out and refinish them and sell them for big profits. People spend big money on those things right now. Or we put them in our flips. If we have a nice big open master bathroom with a separate shower, people love those whole clawfoot tubs. You'd be amazed. But back in the rental, if it's a built-in cast iron tub, we actually will reglaze it, and that you might want to write that down. We can reglaze a tub for about $500. And reglazing means it's the actual like ceramic stuff. It's not like a paint. They literally reglaze it. It's $400 or $500, but it looks like it's brand new. They take care of all the chips and dings and dents and everything. And it's a lot less expensive than putting in a brand new tub after you rip out the old one. Now, when we do that, we do put on a brand new tile wall, the backing, everything, ceramic tile in the bathtub, both ends and the side. And we obviously replace the spigot, the shower head, and the it's called an adapter kit. You know, the handles, we replace all that with a brand new adapter kit. Okay. And if we have to, replace the waistline while we're at it. So it's like a brand new tub, but the underlying tub is still that old cast iron tub. A lot less expensive. I mean, we could do a bathroom like that for a couple $1,000s. You'd be surprised, and it looks nice. Oh, by the way, we do not like those glass sliding doors in our rentals. Just another one of those things, just take my word for it. I've had them. They look great when they're new, look great when they're clean, but tenants are not generally going to keep them looking new and clean. Okay, they don't have a squeegee to wipe the water off of, so they get that calcium buildup, the soap buildup, and everything else. The tracks get dirty and nasty. Just get rid of them. Just have a curtain rod with a shower curtain. Okay. Now, in your bathroom, you should have either a window or an exhaust fan. And the code says if you have a window, you don't have to have an exhaust fan. Almost always, we still put in an exhaust fan. In any case, the medicine cabinet, same thing. We wanted to kind of match the sink base. We will replace that. So it looks like it's a new bathroom, and as a result, we get a lot more money for the apartment. Okay. Now that's the bathroom. Lighting in the bathroom. I'm sorry. We always put lights above the medicine cabinet, and we always have a ceiling light. And if we have a built-in tub that has the old framing where it's like a bulkhead, we'll put a lighting up there also in the ceiling of the tub if it's not already there. In any case, now we're on to the bedrooms, right? Bedrooms are easy. Just remember this. Carpeting in the bedroom. If you want to do hardwood floor, do that in the living room or the dining room. But bedrooms should always have carpeting. It's just one of those lessons I learned over all the years. It's easier for me to rent an apartment with carpeted bedrooms than ones that do not have carpet in the bedrooms. The carpet we use, by the way, is shawl carpet, SHAW, and the style is called Candy Truffle. Candy Truffle. There's 3 weights. We actually get the lightweight, but then we get the medium pad. The padding really matters. You want to get a better pad. The reason we don't go high end on that is it's going to get messed up. Okay, so we can do carpeting. If we got a big building, we can get them down to $12 a yard, installed with padding. In most cases, smaller places where there's only like 1 unit they're doing, we're going to pay about $15 a yard. So upgraded pad, get the lightweight weight on the carpet, and use shawl Candy Truffle. Chica, yeah. So Chica shawl, SHAW, and the style is called Candy Truffle, like a candy, right? Yeah, Louis, on the carpeting, we don't use like the Berber style like you see in basements or offices, like medical offices. We tried that. We've used it. We did it for a long time, quite frankly, and it worked great. But it turns out we're able to get more money and get at least our apartments more easily when we use the shawl Candy Truffle. It's a higher, thicker pile. It's a residential pile, and it hides dirt like crazy, and it looks good, and it matches almost anything. So, but the contractor carpet, we did use that in a lot of our places for years, and had a lot of success. It was very inexpensive, and I don't regret it. It's just we actually improved. We upgraded our units and our tenant base over time. We realized we can actually make more money and have less headaches doing it. So in any case, carpeting. Now let's talk about doors, bedroom doors, closet doors, things like that. We almost always replace them if they're the old flat kind of wooden, hollow wood looking things, and if there's any damage at all, we're just going to replace them. And the thing is, if you replace one, you got to replace them all because you want your doors to all match, okay? And if we do that, we also replace the doorknobs. We can get doorknobs, big packages of them, and it ends up being like $10 a set. On the closet doors, you're almost always looking at the bifolds. I don't like closet doors. They always end up being headaches, but the bifolds are typically the ones that give us the least headaches, okay? You always want to replace your outlet plates and your switch plates because generally they're going to be old or dingy or handprints and stuff like that. They're very cheap. I mean, we get them box loads and it ends up being like pennies, literally like 11 cents for a switch plate. That's all we're paying. So always replace all the switch plates and the outlets plates. If we have to replace the outlets, we'll do that too, and the switches themselves. Now on the painting, again, you just want to make notes, take pictures and make notes. Yeah, Louis says avoid pocket doors. And boy, that's a big amen on that one. I can't tell how many pocket doors I've had. On the older homes, they're nice to have because they're a great selling feature. They're big and solid and oak. But man, if you ever had a door get caught inside and it doesn't have the end latch, it's a huge pain in the neck. So in any case, back to this. Doorknobs, closet doors, bedroom doors, doorknobs, switch plates, outlet plates. Now on the wall surfaces themselves, again, at this point, we're just making notes and taking pictures. But when it comes to painting, we actually use a satin paint. We've tried, eggshell. We tried semi-gloss is too glossy. The rooms will sweat. You'll get mold and stuff like that. And it just don't want to do it. It shows up everything too. Flat paint though, like eggshell, that shows everything, every little handprint, everything. We got tired of that. So we use plain white paint and it's satin, okay? It's just glossy enough to be able to clean off and reuse. You don't have to repaint every time somebody moves. We get the big 5-gallon drums. We use the same carpet. We use the same paint in every single unit, okay? We have garages full of that stuff. We always look for the deals. We look for the discounts, the discontinued items, all that kind of stuff. We just stockpile it. Okay, same thing with the tile, even carpeting too, by the way. Cabinetry, the whole 9 yards. We'll literally have guys go to Habitat for Humanity, where they resell everything that they took out of the nice homes, and we'll get some nice kitchens for our rentals. Pennies on a dollar. It's amazing. Okay, now back to this. In the bedrooms, I will use ceiling fans in the bedrooms, the combined ceiling fan light fixture. So you might imagine our places look a little bit on the plain side, but they look really good. We have no problem renting, and we always get good tenants too. Okay, now back to the main living area. Same thing in the living room, in the dining room. The wall surfaces are the same paint. If there's carpeting already there, I'll replace it. If it's hardwood floors, I'll refinish it. In some cases, I will carpet over a hardwood floor, depending on what I see. But generally, I will always carpet the bedrooms, like I said. In the living room and dining room, I will entertain hardwood floor if it's already there. If it's not already there, I'm just going to keep using carpet. Okay, whew, that was a lot. I think that's pretty much it, guys. This list is there for you to download. Let me just make sure I covered everything. Electrical plumbing. Oh, by the way, if I didn't mention it, remember I told you to run this water in the sink, check the waistline and all that. In the bathroom, same thing. Flush the toilet, run the tub, make sure the hot and cold work, make sure there's no leaks, and make sure it drains properly. Okay. On the windows, if the windows are old, like aluminum frame, the old wooden sash where there's like signs of rot, and we just replace them, guys. Oh, we use American Craftsman windows. You can get them in all the Lowe's and Home Depots. They measure for any window you could possibly have. 30-year warranty, total vinyl clad, 30-year warranty, double hung, double pane, and they look great and they work great. That's what we use, okay? That's the windows. Any case, I think that is just about it. So let's see, we got some questions here. Shika, can you please repeat the name where you buy these on sale? Oh, so Shika, the windows are called American Craftsman. like the old Sears Craftsman houses, American Craftsman. On the all the other material, I have accounts at Lowe's and Home Depot both. Lowe's and Home Depot, we have accounts at both of them. We mostly get all of our paint there, all the doors, all the windows, all the lighting, all that stuff we get there. When it comes to tile, we'll look for the Color Tile. That's a famous store all over US and Canada. There's all kinds of, like in Canada, we've got Lowe's and Home Depot too. But in any case, we always will look for, when they put pallets outside the store of tile or paint, we'll usually pull up and check it out. And we'll use it if we get a big pallet of it. So back to the windows, American Craftsman, Windows, Chica. On appliances, quite frankly, I don't know what we're doing right now because we were using Sears Kenmore appliances for decades. Guys, those things will last forever. They're not that expensive. They're not as expensive as Maytag or some of the other ones, but Kenmore, you couldn't kill those things. I mean, they would last forever. And Sears would always honor them. It did, forever. So I don't know what's happening now with Sears, but hopefully we can still get Kenmore appliances somewhere. Chica, it's an American Craftsman, CRAFTS, Craftsman, MAN. Okay. Melanie says you mentioned Habitat for Humanity for kitchens, right? Yes. So Melanie, there's a Habitat for Humanities in most cities. There's other places I've seen called Construction Junction. And same thing, it's a clearinghouse for material that's been taken out of like really nice homes. I mean, I've seen kitchens that are like $60,000 kitchens sitting in Construction Junction, and we would buy them because we could get it for $10,000. And now we got really high-end cabinetry we can put in our flips, okay? So we would flip a home with that kind of stuff. But so Construction Junction and Habitat for Humanity resell material from housing that's been remodeled or rehab. And you can get all kinds of, Melanie, you can get hard to find things like those old glass knobs from the antique houses. And if you're into that type of stuff, or you have a property that's being restored to its original look, like a house that's protected, it's under historical landmark designation, you could often find that kind of material in places like Construction Junction. So we've done that a lot. Oshika, it's called Habitat for Humanity. It's what the old president Jimmy Carter used to do when he was no longer president. He worked for Habitat for Humanity. Any case, let's see what else we have. Any questions, guys? I think that's about it. Well, by the way, on the other form, let me just go here real quick. Sorry, guys. On the property rehab form, I'll just show you this. This is where you take all your notes from the property inspection form, the one we just did, the information form, and start to put them in here and add up all the numbers. You can go to Home Depot, you can go online and get a bid online, Home Depot or Lowe's, or you can use this to give to your contractor to get his bid on the project. Okay, and also if you're on the team, let me see if I still got that up there. Let me bring up that our lead gen system. Whoops. Real flow. So I just want to show you something real quick here. Once you have all your forms filled out, or your client does, go here. This is for folks that are on the team. Go down to the Analyze tab. Oops, sorry. Let me share this with you. Sorry, guys. Share. Go to the Analyze tab. Click on Repair Estimator. Right. And let's just click on Timberline because that one's in Tampa. Whoops, hang on one second. Timberline. And it's going to take a second to bring this up. But here's what I want to show you. Anybody on the team, you can do your investors a huge favor by getting them on a Zoom call with you or a Google Hangout or Skype call, whatever you're using to do like a live in-person call with them. Bring this tool up. And I know it's a little bit slow here, so bear with me. And plug in all the variables, okay? So this thing is an amazing calculator. You plug in all the variables. Look, roof, it knows the cost per foot depending on what part of the country, what region of the country you're in, you know? So roof, 5,972, that's the roof cost for a 1,493 square foot roof. There's the cost for exterior demo, right? Demolition work. There's the cost for exterior painting. You know, 44.79. Landscaping, that's a big job there. Let's see. Look at that. Refinish cabinets and new countertops. Just what I talked about earlier. $6,500. Okay. Let's see. Appliances, $4,500. This is probably a flip job, so it's a little bit more expensive than a rental. Full bathroom. So again, this was a flip job here. $11,000 for a new bathroom. I think that was 2 bathrooms actually. In any case, there's your total rehab cost right there, and it's uncannily accurate. So Melanie says, my brother lives really close to this house. How about that? Talk about a small world. So in any case, guys, back to the forms. Okay. Oops, let me go to the other one. Sorry. Let me do a share on that. Make sure you download these, share them freely with your prospects and clients. This all will help you land some new investor clients. Use it for yourself if you invest yourself. Get familiar with them, use them, because you're going to want to have your clients do this work, and they may ask you, well, you know, what do you think about this? It's okay to give them advice, but you want them to do the due diligence because they're the one making the decision. Okay. Pretty important. Let's see, how much would demo be for a 3,500 square foot home? I mean, we can play with that. That's Shika, back to the sorry, let me go back to the share. Back to that website. There it is. I can't really play with this because it's somebody else's project. But if I go back up to the demo existing finishing material, you know, here you can change this variable. So I could change that, Shika, to be $1 a foot, $2 a foot, 50 cents a foot. A lot of that depends on the level of work. So if it's simply removing debris and clearing out old branches, that'd be like 50 cents a foot. But if we've got to take down an antenna and climb up a ladder, or we've got to take out a fence or undo, that kind of stuff gets more expensive. You might be looking at more like $1 a foot. Okay, so every job is going to be different, and you multiply it by foot. So if it's 75 cents a foot for 3,500 square foot, then you're looking at 3,500. That's going to be 1,750, 500, 375, so 875. That's going to be 2625, Shika, 2625 on that one. In any case, guys, I think that's pretty much it. Yeah. So tell you what, let's do this. Let's hold off for now because that was a good night there. We got through the entire form, and you can see how you do the information form first, and then you do the analysis form, right? And if you're on the team, then you use this to plug in the numbers, and it does the work for you. So next week, what we'll do is we'll go over the screening interviewing process. So assuming you've done your marketing and now the prospects are responding to you, that's what we'll do next week. And that will fill in the gap between your marketing and what we just did tonight. Now you've got the entire flow of how you work with these folks, okay? Okay, guys, well, listen, you'll have a, Melanie, Betty says your brother can call her. That's her, she lives right there. So that's a small world. So in any case, guys, they definitely communicate with each other, you know, help each other out, support each other. I mean, that's what this is all about. And so I'll see you all next week. That's going to be Thursday night, the 30th. Okay. And we'll go over the interviewing screening process. In the meantime, man, enjoy the rest of your week. Have an awesome weekend. Stay safe. If you haven't had a call for a while, please set up a call. Use the link, set up a strategy call with me, okay, guys? And I will see you next week. So take care. God bless, and have a good night. Bye-bye. Oops, I got to turn this off. Sorry.